I'm here with James J. Hunt, who is the special agent in charge of the DEA New York Division. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah. Talk about a little bit about what you do with the drug-free world.
DEA, we're primarily an enforcement agency, a police agency, so we enforce the federal narcotics laws. We basically lock up the biggest drug traffickers in the world. But with that, we know as a police and law enforcement agency, you're never going to tackle the problem of drug abuse alone. So we also work with the educational organizations, rehabilitation organizations. I think it's very important. Educating people like Foundation for Drug Free World are very important because they help recognize the problem and educate people.
You think prevention is the key?
To solving the problem, yes, because police cannot do it alone. There's always going to be bad guys, and we're very good at catching the bad guys. The Chapo Guzmans of the world, they'll get caught. But if they don't have their bad stuff to sell, there's nothing in it for them. So if the market dries up, they're out of business. So prevention is key.
Talk a little bit about, and if this is important to you, when somebody is actually had that history, they've had the drug history, and they go and they talk to the youth, is that different from maybe someone who hasn't? Or, I know a cop, for instance. What would be the difference?
People can learn from people who have beat the problem, beat the addiction, and learn how they did it. Unfortunately, opiates, it's a very, very difficult habit to beat, but some people overcome it. So those people that do, having them go out and talk to people that are struggling with it is key, because it gives people hope that somebody can beat it.
Why do you think there's such a, when kids say, oh, they're prescription, or that's, opiates, they're prescribed by a doctor compared to street drugs? Why do you think there's such a, kids don't see that it's all drugs?
Yeah, when kids are young, and I know many young people that start out like this, they started using pills just to get high. They thought because it was pharmacy sold it or a doctor prescribed it, it couldn't hurt you. And they didn't realize what they were getting into. Opiates are very, very strongly addictive. So they played with them like people experiment with alcohol. You can't experiment with opiates. And sooner or later, they found themselves with an opiate addiction. Pills got more expensive, harder to get, and they resorted to heroin. Now they're in the streets injecting heroin in their arm when a year before they would have said, I would never put a needle in my arm. Nobody starts out wanting to be an addict. It happens. They evolve into it.
Do you find and do you see that criminal activity starts first with drugs?
Drug addiction breeds criminal activity. Because what inevitably happens is when somebody gets an addiction, they're not prepared for it. And it gets a hold of them in their lives. So normally they start stealing from their families. That's the model. They start stealing from their families first, grandparents. Then when the family realizes they got a problem, they start hiding stuff away. Now they get more brazen. They start doing burglaries, steal from other people. Mostly friends the first time out. Then when that dries up, then they go to the street, resort to crime. Oftentimes young women resort to prostitution to feed a habit. Men to burglaries, petty crime. So it does fuel crime, definitely.
Tell us why a drug-free world and organizations like a drug-free world are so needed in the country right now.
I think organizations like a drug-free world are paramount. Anytime, and I applaud them, anytime organizations will bring awareness to this problem, private organizations bring awareness to this problem is key. Cops cannot do it alone.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Welcome, thank you.
Yes, and congratulations on tonight.